My name is Ed. I am not a doctor. I'm not a pharmacist. I am not a scientist. I have no health expertise whatsoever. I couldn't tell you if you should take Advil or ibuprofen or if they're the same thing. I don't know. I know nothing. Okay, let's just start there. And I am not advising you or not advising you to take Ozempic. I'm just going to tell you my experience.
My name's Ed. After an alarming visit to the doctor, I decided to take a new path. More travel, more experiences, and share what I learned. Welcome to the Tao of Ed.
As you probably saw in the intro, I had some health issues, and I still have health issues, and I decided to take a new path, and that involved retiring and traveling a bit. And so I've been doing that, and behind me is Bangkok, and so I'm in the midst of a travel. So Ozempic, let me, I guess, cover a little bit my personal weight history, just to see if maybe it jives with what you're having. I was a chubby kid, and then I thinned out a bit as a teenager because girls. And then I joined the Army. They are excellent at getting you in shape. I recommend being in shape before you get there. It makes everything much easier. But they're excellent at getting you in better shape. And so I did that. And then for a couple of years after the Army, I maintained pretty good health. And then after a while, a few years, when I started more professional jobs, I started to put on weight. My time got less my own. I was tired from working at a job that didn't require much physical activity, ironically. So the more I sat in a cube and in front of a computer, the more lethargic I got, and the more I ate crap, and just started putting on pounds fast. I put on I had moved to Silicon Valley at one point and started working there, and that was a grind. Those of you who know about that part of history, we were literally known for like sleeping under our desk and stuff like that. I wasn't quite that level, but I did live out of a hotel for the better part of a year, eating out every night. So that kind of gives you an idea of how fast you can put on weight, is just if you're eating out every night at fast food places, stuff like that. And so there was that. And then when I started my own company, that's when it really started to come on fast. I worked from home, and I would start with, the day would start with me answering the phone and hopping on the computer, and then from there eating cereal all day, and then around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I order a pizza because I haven't eaten all day, I think, even though I've had half a box of cereal, and eat an entire pizza. And so there's no mystery where the calories came from, and there's no mystery as to why I was putting on a shitload of weight. But that's where it started to come on. And the mystery, though, for me is trying to get the weight off of me. And I'm sure maybe a lot of you feel this way. When it comes to dropping weight, I sometimes feel like I'm some sort of supernatural creature. No numbers make sense. I mean, the numbers made sense when I put the weight on. Half a box of Captain Crunch equals this many calories, an entire pizza equals that many calories. You put on weight. For some reason, the logic doesn't go in reverse for me. I've tried a lot of things, a lot of different diets, and I've never done surgery or anything like that. I'm healthy in every other way other than my weight. I didn't want to subject myself to more physical problems. And so I've been kind of dealing with that. And my weight has caused a lot of issues in my life. And as if you're watching this, maybe you've experienced some of those as well. At my highest, I'll share some really embarrassing data with you. At my highest, I got 540 pounds. And at that weight, I couldn't sleep properly. I was becoming convinced that I would die in my sleep, that I would basically choke to death in my sleep. And it was bad. At one point, I had to do a road trip around that time. And when I say had to do a road trip, it was because I didn't want to subject myself to getting on an aircraft. And so I decided to drive from Las Vegas to Houston for a meeting. And that was so difficult for me that on the way back, about halfway on the way back, I emailed a relative instructions in case I don't make it. I literally wasn't sure I was going to make it home, and then when I did come home, my hips were just in bad shape. I couldn't walk right for months, and it really hit me that this is a death sentence. And so I started swimming a lot and started eating a little better. And within about 6 months, I lost about 140 pounds. And so, which is amazing to go from most people, but to go from 540 to 400, you're still morbidly obese, and still people look at you like, and so, big accomplishment, but yet not. And so if some of you are watching this, that are overweight, maybe you know how I feel. So anyways, after this alarming news, I decided, after that, I should say, I've kind of been in a range between like 320 and 400 for the past 5-6 years, and unable to break out of that. I'm unable to break out of that 300 mark ever. And so it's been really challenging. And when I say forever, I mean I swim for hours a day. I stuck to one meal a day. I've tried keto, I've tried Atkins, I've tried Mediterranean diet, I've tried everything. And when I say tried, I'm the first to admit I did not stick to it long enough for it to have the impact that it would have probably had. But you get frustrated after a while because the weight loss is so slow and you're working so hard, and you have so much to go. You become defeated, and you slowly float away until you try again. Now, when I was given this news, I was already pretty motivated at that point because of some other issues in my life, but I knew, okay, so I'm going to have to start taking this more seriously. And by seriously, I mean if I don't, I'm going to die imminently. So I started working a little harder on it, but still challenges, were popping up. So now I decided during this trip I'm going to do it. Now, I would not advise for most people to go on vacation and try to lose weight while on vacation. It's not really great, or even while traveling. It's difficult. But I made it a big priority for me. I'm going to do this trip for the better part of a year. I'm going to go see the whole world, and I'm going to lose weight while doing it. I've been walking a lot more, getting on airplanes, going through airports. Embarrassing things to do as fat, but slowly getting thinner. Now let's just get to the Ozempic part, which you're probably waiting for after minutes of me babbling. I have a good friend who, her and I had a good conversation about her weight loss. And what's interesting is she really didn't have a weight problem when I knew her. She was actually pretty much physically perfect. But she had admitted to me that since she had moved away, she'd packed on some weight. And she went, I'm not going to say her name, and no one knows who she is. She doesn't even know this channel exists, so I'm going to go ahead and give you her data anonymously. She's 5'9", and when I had her and I dated for a short time, and she was 150 pounds. That's about, seems right to me. She was tall, she wasn't overly skinny, but she was in good shape. She had, but since he moved and got in this other relationship and kind of had some emotional issues there, she had put on 42 pounds. So she went up to 192 pounds, which is, get closing at 200, which is a lot even for her height. It really upset her, I think. I noticed she wasn't posting pictures anymore of herself on her Instagram or anyplace else. She would use old pictures in her business stuff. And I knew it must have been weighing on her. No pun intended. But she had, her and I talk every now and then, and she told me that she was on Ozempic and told me that she had lost 17 pounds in 5 weeks. And that seemed insane to me. I'd heard of Ozempic, like everyone else. I'd heard celebrities love it, Mindy Kaling's on it, Chelsea Handler made fun of it, and celebrities are denying they're on it, and also people are buying it all up, and people with type 2 diabetes are not getting it. So I heard all this stuff about that, but I never actually knew anyone who was on it succeeding, who I trusted their feedback, and that was impressive to me. So I started to research more. And the more I researched, the more I realized that if I was responsible to a doctor, it's quite possible a doctor may put me on this anyway. I mean, I don't have type 2 diabetes somehow. I don't understand how, but I don't. But I'm probably pre-diabetic at least. and I have high blood pressure from my weight. Obesity has caused me all sorts of issues, so I have no doubt a doctor may very well put me on this stuff anyway, so I'm not someone who needs to lose 5-10 pounds. No disrespect if you're watching this thing and that's why you're looking at Ozempic, but it's not really who it's for. And it seems kind of weird because there are side effects and also potentially some after effects from what we're seeing. So I looked into it, and I made kind of a quick decision that, while I'm doing this, while I'm traveling, I'm eating one meal a day while I'm traveling, and I'm moving a lot. I'm staying in hotels with, fancy hotels with really good pools. And so I'm losing weight already. I was already losing weight at a pretty good stage. But I did notice that because I'm eating one meal a day and I'm working out so much, when I go to eat, I'm hungry. And sometimes I have the propensity to overeat then, which is obviously derogatory towards, it's not helping my weight loss situation if I'm overeating. And so I decided to go for it. I asked somebody here in Bangkok to score me a pen. Once again, this is not medical advice or legal advice. I'm not sure what the legality is of me scoring a pen off whoever in the black market. And yes, I made sure it came from an actual pharmacy, by the way. I didn't go to the black market or some night market somewhere and grab some random thing from some dude. And so I had this pen, and I went for it. I started at 0.25. I stuck it in me, and it has now been almost a week. I started last Wednesday. It is now Tuesday. And so now I'm not going to be great for telling you exactly how much I weigh because I'm traveling, and those of you who are obese know that human scales don't always do it for us. And so, but I can tell you that I did that not that long ago. I was 408 pounds, and during the trip before I started Ozempic, I was 378. So I had lost, I guess 30 pounds already in the past few months from getting ready for the trip and coming to the trip, which, yay me. Although when I found out it was 378, honestly, I thought it was more than that, so I was a little crushed. But I haven't weighed myself since, but what I can tell you what I've experienced and the results that I'm noticing so far. And I will continue to post those, and if I do my weight, I will tell you the update of the weight here, so you can feel free to subscribe and you'll get more information about this. So the weight is coming off, but what I notice most is my ability to move. Right away, I think the Ozempic is having an impact because my appetite is way less. And when I say way less, I mean I'm sitting down. It's weird. I get hungry and then I'm not hungry, and then I get hungry again and I'm hungrier than last time. And when I sit down to eat, even when I'm hungry, after like a quarter of a meal, I start to actually feel a little full. And by the end of the meal, I am, like a regular meal, not eating anything extra, I am stuffed. I feel like I just gorged, and I can't eat anymore. I mean, I could eat more. You can, don't get me wrong, you can force food in your mouth and eat, but you really don't want to. You feel like you overate. And you feel a little guilty for overeating, even though you probably ate. I'm eating one meal a day. I'm eating a decent sized meal because it has to be at least 1,200, 1,500 calories. But I eat 1,500 calories. I feel like I ate 3,000. So it's very subtle. I'm not getting physically sick in this thing. You just you feel very subtle, and so that's helping. That's helping a lot. And I do notice the weight is coming off quicker. Even with a couple of days of lack of activity because I was in between hotels and not able to swim, the weight is still coming off pretty steadily. I could definitely see the impact when I have my shirt off, which I won't share with you, but I can definitely see the impact there. Side effects, 1, constipation. So TMI on that, constipation. Went to the bathroom. I took it on Wednesday, went to the bathroom on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, no go. Monday, I took a laxative, and Tuesday morning, laxative was effective. I started taking, my friend who told me her experience recommended a probiotic, and so I started drinking a probiotic in the evenings now. I'm hoping that will help. And so that's been my results so far. And I'm definitely losing weight. And like I said, movement. I'm able to move a little better. And this is a cumulative of all the weight loss beforehand too, but like getting out of cars is a little easier. They have very small cabs here. I mean, like small Toyotas. And so getting out of cars and stuff, I'm getting a little better at, and moving through the airport, moving through hotel lobbies, getting better, being able to stand at the lobby desk. I mean, this is all things that I'm embarrassed to even say was an issue, but standing at a desk checking in, anything over a few minutes, my back starts hurting, my knees start hurting. I should mention I have a bum knee from an injury, and it's I had a pin in it and stuff. So I'm not just fat. I also have a kind of a disability. But yeah, that's my experience so far on Ozempic and my weight loss so far. So if you want to follow this, I will update this once a week and let you know where we're at on Ozempic. And I will weigh myself when I get the chance, when I find a place with a scale that can weigh me. But I'm confident the weight's coming off. And also, if you're following me, you can look at my face and see if I'm getting thinner. Which some people, I always say that because some people actually watched previous videos and said you're getting thinner, which is great to hear. Yeah, that's that. So follow the channel. I will give you more information, and feel free to contact me. I'm at 0.25 milligrams, by the way. I'll be going up to 0.5 after a month, and so but right now 0.25, just in case you're wondering on that. And when I inject myself in the leg, some people were talking about the differences. I'd heard injecting yourself in the stomach is more likely to give you side effects. So I inject myself in my right leg. I think next time I'll do it my left leg. You're supposed to switch it up. And so yeah. So hope that was somewhat helpful. And feel free to leave a comment or ask me any questions. Good luck on your weight loss.